It started as a whistle, soft, distant. At first I didn't even notice it, barely registering the sound over the crackling of my small campfire. It wove through the trees, carried on the wind, slow and deliberate. A tune rising and falling, too perfect, too steady. I was alone in the Appalachian wilderness, miles from the nearest road. A place untouched, a place that felt ancient, like it had existed before men knew how to name things. The sun had vanished hours ago, swallowed by the towering trees, and the only light came from the flickering embers of my fire. The air had grown cold, too cold for a summer night. The wind whispered through the branches, but something about the silence beneath it felt wrong. I told myself the whistle was just another camper nearby, maybe a late hiker, maybe nothing at all. I stirred the fire, letting the heat warm my hands, and pulled my blanket tighter around my shoulders. But as the flames flickered, the whistle came again, closer this time, a slow, measured tune, like someone calling out, like someone waiting for a reply. A shiver crawled up my spine. The forest around me had gone dead quiet. No crickets, no rustling leaves, just silence. Then a footstep, somewhere in the dark. My breath hitched. I wasn't alone. I turned, flashlight in hand, scanning the black expanse of trees beyond my camp. The beams sliced through the night, catching nothing but the twisted shapes of trunks and branches. Still, the feeling of being watched pressed against my skin, heavy and suffocating. Then the whistle came again, from a different direction this time. I swung the flashlight around. Still nothing. I tried to breathe, to slow my racing thoughts, but my body was screaming at me. Something was out there. Something was playing with me. I took a step toward my tent, my fingers brushing the zipper. Then, from just behind me, whoo! I spun so fast I nearly lost my balance. My flashlight beam shuddered across the trees. And then I saw it. A figure. Tall. Too tall. Its limbs were stretched, distorted, its head tilted at an unnatural angle. My flashlight flickered. It took a step forward. The whistle started again, not from its mouth, but from somewhere deep inside its chest. I wanted to run. I needed to run. But my legs felt like lead. My fingers, numb with fear, barely gripped the flashlight. It took another step. Its movements were all wrong, jerky, like a puppet on invisible strings. Then it whistled back at me, the same eerie tune, mimicking me, mocking me. I turned and ran. The forest was a blur. Trees ripped past me, branches slashing at my arms, the underbrush clawing at my ankles. My breath came in ragged gasps, but the thing, it didn't run. It didn't need to. The whistling never faded. It was always right behind me. No matter how far I ran, no matter how deep into the woods I pushed, it followed. The tune never wavered. The sound was in my ears, my chest, my skull. I reached my truck, nearly collapsing against the door as I yanked it open, hands shaking so hard I nearly dropped my keys. I shoved them into the ignition, my breath ragged, my vision swimming. The engine roared to life. The headlights flared, illuminating the road ahead. For a split second, I let out a breath, my heart slamming against my ribs. Then, the whistle, right outside my window. I turned. The thing was there, just inches away from the glass. Its neck was too long, its arms hanging limp, its face, a blurred smear of skin stretched too tight. Its mouth never moved, but the whistle never stopped. I slammed the truck into reverse, my tires kicking up mud as I peeled out of there, my breath coming in frantic sobs. I didn't look back. I didn't dare. I drove until the trees disappeared, until the headlights found pavement, until I saw the lights of a gas station flickering in the distance. Only then did I let out a breath. Only then did I stop shaking. But even as I stumbled into the gas station, gripping the counter, trying to force words out of my trembling mouth, I heard it. Faint, distant. From the edge of the woods, the whistle. It was still following me, and it was getting closer.